Hey guys, I'm going to show you the pads that I wore for the month of August. These aren't arranged in any order. They're just what I pulled out of the dryer. I dry all of my pads in the dryer with normal laundry, so they can kind of look a little wrinkled. But if you were to air dry them, they wouldn't look like this. And I could even wash them again and air dry them and give them a little tug while they're drying, and then they would pretty much lay flat. So anyway, with that out of the way, let's take a look. And this one is from Selestial Alchemy, and Celeste made this for me. The print was a total surprise. She actually sent this with a plant swap cutting that we did, and I was super excited about that. And this backing is, I think she said, cotton fleece PUL bonded. It's a moderate pad, and yeah, it's really pretty. Next one is a pad that I enjoy wearing. It's one that I made with the Tropickle shape. It's not a shape that is available as a sewing pattern, and I even questioned, like, should I do this video as my what I wore this month video when a lot of the pads that I wore were my own. Like I sewed these, and because I kind of feel like I should be making these videos to show a variety of pads, but these are what I actually wore, so I guess that's just being honest. And this is Power Stretch 9411 on the back. It's got a moderate core and no hidden layer on this one. I was experimenting with trying to sew pads without the hidden layer. It turned out fine. I just felt like it took a lot of work to make sure that the core stitching looked nice and even, and then to make sure the point where you start and stop, to make sure it looks really nice and finished. So it's a nice thin pad, but I don't know that I'll be sewing without a hidden layer very often. The next pad is from Padikoi. Let me see if I can get the lighting to look better here. This is OBV with WinPro, might be 9411. I often see in videos this Power Stretch 9411 referred to as WinPro. It's kind of interchangeable in the cloth pad market. It gets called WinPro, it gets called Power Stretch, because they're very similar. And yeah, I just love the pretty colors on this one. And I believe that Joy from Padikoi has started sewing again and has pads in stock if you want to go check that out at the time of this video. So if you're watching in the future, I don't know for sure, obviously. And here is another Tropickle pad. It's 13 inches, a cotton Sherpa. And if you're sewing your own pads, this cotton Sherpa is from Diaper Sewing Supplies. I usually get most of my absorbent fabrics from Nature's Fabrics. This one was from Diaper Sewing Supplies, because I guess I just like the pile of this version better. So that's good for gushy flows or heavy overnight flows, because it kind of just grabs whatever you throw at it in that texture. And the next pad is, this was a tester pad that I made a long time ago when I'm just like trying out different shapes that I want to sew. So this is very similar to the B pattern that's available, except some of the points were like curved. So yeah, this one's a Performance PK. Let's see how close we can get and still focus. Oh, we get pretty close. So if you're not familiar with the texture of Performance PK, it's very smooth. And if you look really close, you can see little, it's not like holes, but there is a texture, I guess. But it's a wicking fabric. It's 100% polyester, I believe. It's color fast. It So it won't fade and it won't stain, which is really nice. You don't have to worry about this beautiful print ever staining. So most of my pads are moderate. If I don't say anything, it's probably just a moderate pad. And another tropical shape, just testing out different shape combinations. This is a pad that I sewed recently. I was just trying out wing shapes that would be really fast to sew. So I'm gonna work on a pattern for that because it's basically the same as my Tropickle pads, except the wings are simpler. So, yeah. And I'm kind of making this what I wore month video from the perspective of a pattern seller and a pad seller. So I'm sorry about that. But maybe that's good. I don't know. Yeah. I guess that's the only perspective I really have. Here's one of my favorite prints. Anything with cat illustrations will get me happy. So this one is backed with Cotton Sherpa PUL. This is from WIWTM. And I really like this pad with the cotton top, quilter's cotton, a bonded PUL backer, a moderate core. The core of this is bamboo French terry from Nature's Fabrics, and there's a hidden layer of muslin that's holding the core. So yeah, maybe I could show you that snapped. So you can see that it kind of like makes the sides of the pad, oops, curl in just a little bit. And yeah, I'm gonna go a little quicker now. Here's another Selestial Alchemy pad. It's got a really unique backer. And, oops, cute snap. For some reason it's not snapping. This was a group order I was super excited to get in on. I don't have many cotton knit toppers, and I really liked wearing that this month. There's hardly ever a pad that I don't enjoy wearing. The only ones that I don't fall in love with is if they go out really wide, because it tends to rub on my thighs. But yeah, this is a moderate pad, I think. Yep, worked great. And again, another tropical shape. Not much to say about that one. Here's a Grayson Street Emporium pad. I was a little nervous about wearing this one because it's white right in the center, but luckily I didn't actually bleed on it. I just wore it towards the end of my period and didn't actually need to catch anything. So yeah, didn't have to worry about trying to stain treat that. And I don't know what this backer is, but I believe it's waterproof. I kind of like how the pink snaps and everything coordinates. I'm sure that's an indicator of absorbency, but it just happens to coordinate. So that's a really happy print and happy pad. And another tropical shape. See, like, I feel guilty doing this video because I don't know that it's really helpful to you. I guess I just like these because they're a little wider right here and straight. I've learned that I like having a straight pad that kind of wraps around the sides. So the original versatile round pattern, if you haven't used that, the straight lengths on that are not this wide, they're narrower, and that didn't work so well for me. So that's why this shape that I sell now got modified. So it's basically like 3 inches here. And so if you're sewing and you want a straight pad, kind of like this, then use a 3-inch snapped pattern and just use shorter wings. And then it's basically like a 2.5-inch semi-wrap pad. There you go. And one more pad. This one was one of the very first pads that I ever made for myself. It's got cotton velour on the top and anti-pill fleece on the back. This was one that I made for myself as a postpartum pad. Before I had ever used cloth pads, I made this, and you can kind of see from the topper that it's got like a partial center zone of an extra layer, and I was all about core stitching at that time. Yeah, I believe there's 2 layers of some kind of hemp cotton fleece in there with an extra center boosted layer. And there it is. This worked just fine for me while I was at home with the anti-pill fleece backing. I just checked, like every time I went to the bathroom, I changed my pad, so it wasn't a big deal that it didn't have any waterproof layer. And when I went out, I was using PUL backed pads, but I don't know if I really needed that. I didn't leak through my pads. So that is it. Thanks for watching, and I will try to post a little more regularly, but those are my pads, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.